there's a movie, this is just comment on what you said. Um, I love this movie and the actor in the movie, Anthony Quinn. He played the leader of the resistance to colonization by the Italians in Libya, Omar Mukhtar. Lion of the Desert. That's the name of the movie. And a couple of things in that movie that I really love. Some movies, if you're a movie person, and I am one, you don't ever tire of it. You can watch it many times over and over and over. And I haven't seen that movie in a long time, but something brought my attention to it. And two scenes in that movie, well, no, three important scenes in that movie that I recall. One is the attention to the discipline of prayers that Anthony Quinn showed as an actor when he's preparing for his prayers in the prison. And he's taking special care to perform the wudu with great precision. And he's doing it, I can see that Anthony Quinn has studied Muslims, in the way that they prepare. And he's doing it with great care and attention and reverence. That struck me in that movie. And then the other part that struck me in that movie, two other parts, and the main thing I want to tell you is the last thing I'm going to mention. The other thing is, in the midst of the conflict, the actual physical combat between the resistance fighters under the leadership of Omar Mukhtar, while they're yet in the desert fighting the Italians, on horseback and rifles, and the Italians have modern weapons, tanks and what have you in the desert. Omar Mukhtar is walking along with his horse, and he's reading from the Quran. And the last thing, and the most important part that I want to mention, is that in one of the scenes that is, and I did my own, research, not just watching the movie for knowledge, but also my own. I'm a student of the resistance to the incursion of the Italians in Libya, and Omar Mukhtar, from what religious order he belonged, and his teaching and who he was as a person. I did a lot of study about him many, many years ago. That's why I know that the movie was true to the character, true to the person, true to the character of the person. In one scene where the followers of Omar Mukhtar, they are successful in this particular battle, and they turn around the Italian tanks, causing them to retreat. They capture one of the officers, who is the flag person, the flag bearer of the Italians, which is important in the morale psychology of battle. The person who carries the flag is very important. So they capture him, and one of the followers of Omar Mukhtar looks as if he's about to execute this officer. And Omar Mukhtar, Anthony Quinn, he puts his rifle down, tells him, "We don't kill prisoners." And the young man, he says, "They do it to us." And Omar Mukhtar, this is the part, he looks at him, he says, "They're not our teachers." And he takes the flag and gives it to the lieutenant and says, "Tell your general this doesn't belong here." We come from something. We come from something very powerful and significant in the life of the African American people and in the life of America. It came to people that were not educated. It came to people that felt that they didn't have a place, even in the church, which was an institution that had, in many ways, served the stability of the African American people. The appeal of it was that your reality is an illusion. You're not a citizen. You're not respected as a citizen. You're not a Christian. You're not respected in the church. The church teaching cheats you. The reference to you as a citizen mocks you. And it challenged those people to think carefully about the truth of their condition, but not as a destructive force, but as a force of reformation. And this is the method of Muhammad the Prophet, to reform, not to destroy. There has been no spiritual movement more significant in America than that which is associated with the history of our community. And no immigrant Muslim, as much as I want to love them and embrace them and to express my appreciation, kiss them on their cheeks and shoulders for their obedience to Allah and their vision for human society and their constructions and their institutions, as much as I want to embrace them and love them, and I do in my spirit, they are not our teachers. And I don't put myself in position as Imam W.D. Muhammad's representative to be their teachers. But we have something very special that belongs to us. And it's so very special that the African American people cannot have a complete appreciation for what it means to be an American, except that they hear also our commentary. And that applies not only to the African American people, it applies to the American people. That in this time, you can't even see what it means to be an American except that you hear us. And so we're not just the first teachers of Islam in America. We're the first teachers in America, period. What am I saying? I'm saying that there is no American idea to be upheld, to be supported, to progress upon, except in our care in this time. That is what we have been designated for. So that's the responsibility of a whole people. And it's a heavy one. And it's not something to be thought of as in one moment in time. It's generational. So when I think about the obligation, that is what stirs in me, that weight. So whatever trepidations that I might have, or even shortcomings that I might have, they have to be reconciled within the context of that weight. My nature as an individual is shyness, really. And you know, I've been described as aloof, but it has to do with shyness. And but for the matter at hand and the importance of the matter at hand and what is necessary, you have to transcend those things. They can't be an excuse. or they can't be something that sets you apart from acceptance of responsibility. So it's necessary in the spirit of the people for the purpose for which they have been designated that we say that our tradition is succeeded, that we identify in it and with it fully for not only our own community interest or salvation, but for the salvation of this nation, this country, and in its relevance to the rest of the world, reformation of the world in its slave-making systems. So if we say that we belong to someone else, that they're our teachers, we lose that. So if I'm true to who we are, I don't have any choice, do I? So that's what you see. You see a man resolved to purpose.